Alright, so this is Waluigi Man 8689.
And GoldenEye 24.
And we are starting this new thing where we will be reviewing and ranting movies. We might do TV shows, but for now we're just doing movies. And this is our first one, Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood. We will be posting one like every week or two, every week or every 2 weeks, something like that. Anyway, this is the movie. You might know Drake and Josh as a popular TV show. It's not airing anymore, but it was a pretty good show.
Indeed.
Yep, it was a pretty good show. So the plot of the movie is their parents go away, and Drake and Josh have to put Megan on the certain plane
to go on a cruise to see her friend.
Yeah, but they accidentally put her on the wrong plane, and she goes to L.A. And knowing their little sister Megan, even though she ends up in the wrong place, she still has an awesome time in Los Angeles, regardless to the fact that she's not even supposed to be there. So anyway, so Drake and Josh go there after her, and Josh gets put with these fat couple that are really mean to each other, and it's like just crazy. So he moves seats to this guy who has a Geo just like Josh. So anyway, so that fat lady is going to use the bathroom, and they're supposed to be staying seated because they're like flying right into LA. And she falls on him, and somehow the Geos get switched between Josh and the guy who has like illegal copies of money on his Geo, something like that.
Oh.
So,
and when they land, Josh looks for the man who he knew that they switched Geos with, and he found him, except they couldn't find them. So they ended up having the wrong Geos.
Yeah, and at the time of this, Drake gets a gig booked at this place called Sunset Studios, because, as you might know, Josh is his band manager. So this is what happened. He booked Drake some sort of gig at Sunset Studios, which would be live on TV. And it was a pretty big thing, so they had to get there. So anyway, so they tried to get back the Geo, and for some reason Josh wouldn't give them back their Geo because they were up to something illegal. So they started chasing after them, and it became in a big high-speed chase. And at the time, Tony Hawk was apparently at the hotel that Megan was at, and Drake and Josh were also at. So they took Tony Hawk's car, and they drove off, so then the cops go after them, because they're, like, driving away really, really fast, and, they're not really with the, FBI, those guys. They're just, teamed up with the bad guys. So they end up getting kidnapped. I believe it was 18141 E. Addison, something like that. So Megan apparently goes to their rescue, and they're printing millions and millions of counterfeit dollar bills because they stole this money-making machine from, like, the government or something. So, so Megan comes to their rescue, and eventually the FBI shows up and arrests the guys. And apparently that guy was one of the FBI's 10 most wanted. So they got really well. So then they had to get to Sunset Studios, and it was about a 45-minute drive from where they were, and it was only like 20 minutes. So they gave them a police escort because they helped them catch one of the FBI's 10 most wanted crooks. So they make it just in time, they play, and of course they get a lot of hits because it's on live TV, and it turns out amazing. And then Drake and Josh just have a fun time in Hollywood from there on out, and Megan just goes to where she's supposed to go on a different flight. So yeah, overall it's a pretty good movie, has a pretty good plot to it. As you might imagine, the villains were a bit goofy from time to time, like most movies that have this type of plot. So overall it was a pretty good movie, had a pretty good plot to it. There's nothing really that I didn't like about it.
GoldenEye 20 here, his assistant. I'm going to be here to talk about a few of the rants. There aren't that many.
Yeah.
Overall, for a kids movie, Nickelodeon makes movies around every 3 months.
Yeah.
This wasn't a bad one. I have to say I was
Yeah.
impressed with this. The plot got edgy every now and then, but one of the things that didn't go into place perfectly is how, if you notice that in the movie, Josh has to write a report on one of the best things that he's ever done. And if I'm correct, at the end of the movie, you never see him write that report.
Yeah, but he says that it's going to be really easy to write that report about his greatest adventure ever. So there's really nothing to rant about this movie, because it was one of the best Nickelodeon movies that I've ever seen. So yeah, Waluigi Man 8689 and
GoldenEye 20 are out.
Bye.